Hi everybody, a fresh edition of Weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday evening. Thanks for watching the Valley's most detailed, geekiest weather video. We try to keep you up to speed on what's going on with the weather, not only in the next 7 days, you can get that on TV, but we try to take a look at the longer range as well and some interesting things that I don't have time for on your evening newscast. So let's get right to it this evening. I wanted to start with a calendar view of January so far. This month has been a warmer than average month. No surprise there. We're running about 3.5 degrees above the average. We had one stretch of cold weather that lasted 5 days from the 5th through the 9th. Ever since then, we've reeled off 9 consecutive above average days here in Youngstown, and I think we're going to end up with a top 10 warmest January before this month is through because of what's coming over the next week. So when we tally this all up at the end of the month, I think we'll probably be in the top 10, if maybe even the top 5 warmest Januaries on record here in Youngstown. Well, the weather is not behaving as such, but we are right in the middle of meteorological winter, covering months of December, January, and February. We're kind of right in the heart of it. Our average highs are at their bottom now, 32 degrees. That's as cold as our average high gets. Actually, starting next week on the 23rd, it goes up to 33, and it's 33 at the end of the month. And by the end of February, our average high back up to a balmy 40 degrees. So some things to look forward to there. Well, it's looked kind of like this all day today. We've had kind of some incessant light rain and drizzle for a lot of the day today. And you can see in Niles on 422 here at 7:45 p.m. You still need to flip on the wipers a few times. We're going to hang on to the threat for some drizzle overnight into early tomorrow as well. In the meantime, high pressure will build in tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, we're going to have a lot of moisture trapped under that high. An inversion in the atmosphere will keep this low-level moisture around. I think there can be some drizzle right up through daybreak tomorrow morning in a few spots. But despite the clouds, maybe a little fog, and maybe a little drizzle at the start of the day, things do get better as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. I think a lot of us start to see some sunshine working in, and that will send temperatures up into the upper 40s for your Thursday. But hot on the heels of that is another round of rain. This is a warm pattern, but it's also a pretty rainy pattern. And we're going to have another period of rain Friday. This starts a little before daybreak and probably continues right up through about lunchtime. From southwest to northeast, we should dry things out Friday and maybe even see some peaks of sun late in the day. And I've got a high of 52 in the forecast for Friday. And if you think that's warm, just wait till Saturday. Now, Saturday I think can start with a lot of clouds and some dense fog as well. But in the afternoon, with a mix of sun and clouds, hopefully, assuming we see some sun, I've got a record high in our forecast. 61 is our forecast. The record high is 59. Set back in 1959 on Saturday. As far as rainfall amounts here, not much to write home about. We're talking about generally maybe a quarter of an inch worth of rain. Coming our way with that period of rain Friday. So lower amounts than with the last system on average. A lot of us had half an inch or so worth of rain with that last system. Talking about the fog, patches of fog tomorrow morning. Don't think fog is much of an issue for Friday morning. It'll be rain that's coming in, but I think Saturday morning there could be some locally dense fog around the region. Our Futurecast model here, a lot of zeros on here. We're not going to have zero visibility everywhere. This model overdoes it sometimes. But I do think there can be some locally dense fog Saturday morning. In the afternoon, the visibility starts to come up. Again, this is probably improving the visibility a little too slowly. I think visibility generally will be a lot better than this by Saturday afternoon. And no surprise, in the 8 to 14 day outlook, we're still advertising cooler air to start coming east. Now, you'll notice here that we're kind of in between the cool anomalies, the warm anomalies in this 8 to 14 day period. And, you know, that's just, it shows you that we're heading back to normal. We're not heading into a super cold pattern at the end of next week into next weekend, but we are going to see this ridiculous warmth trimmed, and we're going to see more and more typical midwinter temperature regimes. They're not going to be the kind of regimes that's going to send us below zero, but we're not going to see 55 and 60 degrees nearly as often starting here in about 9-10 days. I wanted to finish up this evening. A lot of people asking where's the snow, and of course it's been too warm for snow. What you're looking at here is the European ensemble model, and there's 51 members or flavors of it. This is the average total snow when you look at all those runs of the model. And while this doesn't show much, it does show that the pattern will start favoring at least the chance of some frozen precipitation here as we go into the last few days of January into the first part of February. There could even be a winter storm somewhere in the Mid-Atlantic region right around Groundhog Day. Real early in the game on that, but that's possible. But, you know, even though you don't want to take this verbatim, it shows that at least there'll be some chances of seeing some snow at the end of this month and into early February. And as we've been talking about this week, the February forecast is a little bit challenging because it's not often at all that a very warm January is followed by a cold February. It just doesn't happen very often. A lot of the climate modeling, though, is showing a colder February. So we've got our work cut out for us for the February forecast. We'll have an update on that as we get closer to the end of the month. Thanks as always for checking in on Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you tonight on the 21 News at 11. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night.